Hello, everyone, and welcome to our week 6. Incredible. Time is flying with this gut health journey together with Celestine.
It does.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through, and the topic for today is the emotional phase. So we are now entering the emotional phase. So before we dive into that, I would like to do an update about how your stomach pains are, because that's like the track. It's like the because when you arrived here, you had so much stomach pain, and when that started to subside, then we can know that we are doing something right. And I just want to follow up on that real quick.
Yeah, definitely going in the right direction. That's for sure. So what I notice now is that I have extremely little stomach pains compared to before, and what I do notice is that when the stomach pains do show up, it often comes with feelings. So it's becomes more of a tell sign for me that the body is processing something and something wants to be acknowledged, seen, accepted, and helped out of the system.
Yeah.
And that also has changed the characteristics of the pain. Now it's not perhaps not always so much of like a knife cutting pain, but it's more of like a cramp or like a tension building up. So
Yeah, because one of the main reasons why you came here and decided to stay for 12 weeks was to, of course, work with the stomach cramps and the situation in the gut, but you also had this intuition that it was connected to the emotions, and you felt like, I am completely shut off of my emotions. I can't access them. And we realized quickly that you were in a freeze state in the autonomic nervous system, and that we spent a lot of time, grounding that to access the emotions. And it feels like it's been working.
Yep. I am experiencing emotions. We can say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a huge relief and evolution as a human being to feel emotions and release them and not being afraid of them or stuffing them down. Like before, they were so deeply repressed that I had zero contact with them.
Yeah.
So it was like I wasn't like I was like, oh, I need to like repress my emotions on a daily basis. No, I was completely shut off. There was no contact with them, and now there is contact on a daily basis. And I see very clearly that what we do here is everything we do is helping me and nurturing me on this journey to become to go out of the free state and start grounding my nervous system. And on that journey, when your nervous system like relaxes, that's also when the body feels safe enough to release the emotions. And we have a couple of, like this week, what has been really effective for me when it comes to emotional releases has been the transformational breathwork that we do, as well as the tension and trauma release, the TRE program. And but I think the foremost thing that I experience is that when I come to a class or I come to lunch or I meet you in the kitchen, when I am like seen by you and asked like, how am I feeling? And I know this is the safe place for me to express how I'm feeling and putting my emotions, trying to put them into words, because many times I don't really know what I'm feeling. I'm still exploring that very much. But that mirroring, like being in the presence of one of you teachers, is really, it just brings the emotions up to the surface it's super clear how that that pattern is really the base foundation for what's happening here with me at the moment. Is that when I'm alone, it's a lot harder to get in contact with it. I feel that I'm stuck. I'm not getting anywhere. I don't know up or down or left or right. I'm just like in this gooey, emotional, low vibe emotions. And then I get to a class and maybe I feel a lot of resistance going there, but I show up anyways. And then it's like, how are you today? And then it's like, I start, lifting it up, and then many times out it comes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful to watch how you open up and show yourself, because that is the way to freedom, that we accept what we've been through and we start to process, and that we stop and, as you said, allow the nervous system to ground, and we enter this space where it's okay to process. And it's very common that we need someone else to as we say, like go from co-regulation to self-regulation in the beginning. And that's why we have these retreats, so people can come and co-regulate, because many times that's what's needed in the beginning, because we don't feel safe enough to do it by ourselves, and that we've been so alone. And it's almost like it's an automatic response for the body to shut it off when we are alone. And I mean, it was like that for me too in the beginning. And for Linda, for example, she always said, like, soon as you guys show up, it's like the so you need that in the beginning, and then slowly you start to self-regulate, and you start to be able to hold space. But it is a community thing. We're not supposed to be alone with what we feel, and be alone with all the hurt and the sorrow. We're supposed to take care of each other and hold space for each other. So
yeah, very clear.
Yeah, your body is responding very, very well to all of it, and I feel like you're really processing a lot. You're allowing yourself to process a lot.
Yeah, thank you for mirroring that, because again, it's hard to see my own progress, but I know you've seen many people coming and going, and I appreciate the encouragement.
Yeah, you're doing great, really. Yeah. Yeah. It's a short-term, it's a short-term deep work for the long-term freedom. And also, what is very clear with you and with many of the women that I work with currently is that we are also like purging this emotional, like generational trauma. It's like we come to this place and space in time, so to speak, where it's a lot of the women are standing up and clearing a lot of old stuff. And that can feel sometimes a little bit extra heavy, but we're doing it for the sisterhood and for everyone. So it's an important thing to do, and
Yes.
it's not only about ourselves. It's like we're coming together, supporting each other, and healing each other.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a big motivation for me, knowing that the work I do now is helping my family, my friends, everybody around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sometimes it feels very difficult to like, how can I approach my close relationship and make them evolve, so I can be more so I can live in a world where that is mirroring my current state and not like the past.
yeah.
And sometimes that can feel like impossible or overwhelming, but like this gives me hope that what I'm healing inside of myself, I also heal within my family and my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Because if one person starts to heal really deeply, it just automatically resolves in entanglements that we have in each other, because you let things go and you move forward. And that's not only happening on an energetical or emotional level, it's also an inspiration and freedom that we share. And because what we do is that we heal ourselves, and then we love other people unconditionally, and we can just see things for what they are, and we can love people for who they are and love ourselves for who we are. So it's a very beautiful way to move forward, because if we release the heaviness of the past in ourselves, it becomes automatically easier for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we don't live in the past, and that we can just be ourselves. And it's also very, very beautiful to watch you coming out. It's like this flower that is like blossoming. It's I know that it feels heavy, but I still see these glimpses of a new person coming out that is very, I can see that she's not super, that she's self-confident, and that she's relaxed and happy and playful and laughing and joking. And this feeling of when you feel safe in your own skin, you act from a very different place. And you don't look to others to see how I should behave, or how I should act, or there's a lot of people pleasing that is disappearing in you. And that's a part that we've been talking about from, even before you came here. And I can see that a lot of that is like falling to the sides, and that something else is coming up.
Looking forward to meet her as well.
Yeah, I can remind you when she's out next time.
Yeah.
There she is. Yeah. And yeah, last but not least for this week has been, we amped up the Candida and parasite cleanse. We're taking it very slow with your stomach, so we add things very slow. But now we've been adding a little bit more of the Candida and the parasites, and you also been on the detox for a while. So then things start to happen. So what are you noticing?
Well, I've been on fruit detox for a week now, day number 8, and I thought, coming off the juice fast would be like a dream, eating fruit, but it's been really hard. Jesus, it was not at all what I expected or painted in my head. Gosh, it's been really bringing up my food obsession pattern, like big time. And I've been literally obsessing about food, thinking about food all day long, dreaming about food all day long. Literally, when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about food. I've noticed. I'm like, holy shit, this is taking it too far. And like Googling vegan raw recipes and checking out restaurants in Chiang Mai, and it's just been like basically like self-torture doing that, but I just couldn't resist it. And yeah, it reminds me, I had many, like food has been my number one comfort, like always. And I've had on and off long, like the last 20 years, it's been a lot of food obsession around it, and there's a lot of obsession about my weight and size attached to that. And I've been struggling with that, like addiction, like consciously, even though this was like 10-15 years ago. I was so aware of, holy moly, like everything is just rotating around food in my mind. And now to have that coming back in full force after a couple of years of a little bit more like balanced attitude towards it, it was just like, wow, took me for a real spin.
Yeah.
So
what happens is that you've been very aware of your food obsession, and how you've been, we've been talking about this quite a bit, where you've been sharing that your go-to thing is like good food and a movie, and then everything gets better.
Safe place.
Yes. And when the emotions are so suppressed, we also use the food to suppress it even more. So it's a way for us to keep the emotions down. That's why a lot of the emotional overeating or no eating is connected to a feeling of control and to control the feeling of being unsafe. And when we are in the freeze zone, then that's a very clear sign that the body does not feel very safe. And then we use the food is so accessible. It's so it just, especially when you have a lot of, so what happens is that we store a lot of the emotions in the stomach, so it becomes like an epicenter of stagnation, of emotions, of all kinds of stuff. And when we eat, we get another sensation in there, so we kind of block out the sensation that we don't want to feel. Plus the food is also very grounding for the nervous system. It makes us feel safe, and also it's the taste. So and the dopamine, and it stimulates us on so many levels, and the food is so accessible, and it's just so socially acceptable to. So you can have a food relationship without even knowing it, and but you have been aware of it. And when we access, so we ground the nervous system, we access all the emotions, and the body wants to go to its go-to move with the food. But also we are clearing out the Candida and the parasites, and they have their own conscious, they have their own will to live, and they feed off all the unhealthy foods. And when they start to starve out, they release a toxin that is creating, because this is kind of gross actually, but they are so intertwined with our tissues, so they can affect our thoughts. And they want us to go back to the food. So when they are starving, they create these super obsessions. So you have your own obsession and your own go-to move with the food, and then you add the toxins from the Candida and the parasites. So this is super normal, and we're adding in different herbs and stuff to help you on the way. But it's time that will take care of this. So it's very, very common. And I actually broke my first long fast because of this, and I didn't know that that was it. I just couldn't stand it anymore. But I didn't do any herbs. I didn't do it. So without the herbs, you it's like you have to be very strong-minded, and have a very strong will, and that's not always easy while you're going through emotional stuff. So it's not strange that you're feeling like this, and it will pass. They will pass into the toilet.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, because you've already seen you already seen parasites coming out.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So, but I think this is about the Candida, and you told me from the beginning that you have been diagnosed with Candida, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So this is them slowly letting go from your bowel wall, and you being the stronger one and pulling through. So great work. It's not much fun. I also did that, like scrolling and looking into recipes. It's just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So well done. Is there anything else that has been standing out this week?
I don't know if we mentioned it, but we spoke about guilt, but did we speak about anger?
No, we can definitely do that. That's been very interesting this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been coming in contact with something very deep there.
Yes, I have. And I don't have many memories from my adult life where I have been angry. I know I have some memories of some teenage years, and maybe in some even younger there, but yeah, it's like I haven't been an angry person. Let's just keep it at that. And yeah, this week I've been feeling like this little frustrations coming up, and thanks to like the guidance of all of you and the TRE, I've like been exploring how I can like bridge my frustration into anger. And the way I've been doing that is just like a kid having a tantrum, just like start like banging the floor with my hands. I'm often lying down when we're doing this, so and screaming, just like scream, because like, and then when I do that, that just like really activates my anger, and I get like completely freaking furious. And then after, I have a huge cry and I release so much emotions, because yeah, underneath the anger there is just so
Yeah.
much sadness.
Yeah.
And this happened twice or three times this week, and that's like a huge step for me, because without, I'm just longing to have like an open emotional channel, because there's so much information and knowledge in our emotions on a daily basis to guide us. Because if someone oversteps my boundaries or pushing me into a corner, and I don't even get angry because my emotions are so blocked, I just take it.
Yeah.
And then I try to sort it out, but I don't feel like I have my emotions helping me defend myself, or just like
Yeah.
putting down my foot saying, hey, that's not okay. So
Yeah.
it just feels like yeah, without anger, it's so easy to be stepped upon, and then taking the blame for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So that's the connection between. So the people pleasing is suppressing the anger. So we allow people to have their way with us, or we don't speak our truth. We don't do. So there's many things with the people pleasing. So that creates like a built up layer of anger, and anger is such a shameful emotion to have in today's society, especially for women. It's like we're just crazy if we are angry, but also for men, then they are aggressive and they are fearful, that we are afraid of them. So it's not a it's a very difficult uh, emotion to express. And when we have a lot of suppressed anger, it's not easy to have a healthy way of expressing them. And as you are learning, the anger is a way for the body to show that you're overstepping my boundaries. So the goal is to be loving and kind and safe in ourselves, and being able to just share that boundary without the reinforcement of the anger.
Mm-hmm.
But when we have a lot of suppressed anger, that it comes, and it's like we try to learn how to ride a bike, like dealing with this, because it's a very explosive emotion, and allowing it to release like a part of the suppressed anger, and also learning, okay, what is a healthy way to express anger,
Yeah,
and how
exactly.
can I deal with the anger, because usually it's about the past, the old anger, because when we have released that anger, it takes a lot for us to get that angry. Then we almost have to be life threatened or very pushed into a corner of somehow, that we need to really use the force to protect ourselves. But the explosive anger can come up just like that when it's not processed. So it feels like, I mean, we detected very, very early that there was unresolved anger, because it's almost like that when it comes to people pleasing. And when we have a lot of people pleasing, there's always a lot of anger.
Mm.
So it's beautiful to watch how you can access that now, and that you learn, and that you start to differentiate the different emotions. And with the anger and the people pleasing also comes a lot of guilt, as you said. So there's this, but you can now, it's like we have this here, and now, okay, under the anger comes sorrow or sadness. So you start to manage them, and you
Mm.
start to get to know them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Big
yeah.
improvement. Big
Yes,
improvement.
yes.
Yeah.
Massive. So
Mm.
fantastic work. And it's so, yeah, again, it's just so beautiful to watch. And you're very determined, and you're very much here for your own you really want to move away from the past, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you also set an intention.
Yes, I did. And that is, I no longer accept invalidation from myself or others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love this.
Important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
And it really starts with myself.
It
Because if
does.
I keep invalidating myself, which is what guilt does, you know, that's where it starts.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like you don't believe your mind anymore. It's like you don't believe that little voice that is coming in to say like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this enough.
Yeah.
I did this, da 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 da. And you go like, wait a
I don't
minute,
believe
that's
it.
not true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there. That's no.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like my
that's what I'm
business
telling
coach, like
myself.
I'm not available for that. I'm not available for guilt anymore. Okay,
Yeah,
do something else.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm keep telling myself.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
good.
buy into that anymore.
Yeah.
I
So
see
it's yes, exactly. So it's about belief system, mindset, doing the work. It's all combined. It's like how do we view the world and how do we view ourselves? And
Yeah.
if we're not able to love ourselves or to accept, then there's some work that we need to do, and the inner work is the way to do that. And yeah, and then how it's so connected to all the gut experiences that you've had. So it's like we're going full circle. But you're not only healing your gut. It's like you're healing all of you. So
Yeah.
you're getting so much more out of it than
Absolutely.
only. Yeah.
And like a proper new chance to come back to balance in the body.
Yeah.
You know, having like a body moving towards homeostasis and having just imagine having everything in balance, all your chakras, all your organs working. It's just like it's like there's so much potential in it.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we keep going.
That's why we keep going.
Yes. Yeah. We have a lot to clear. It's.
Yeah.
But that's good. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you for this week.
Yes. And Monday, so we embark on a new adventure this week.
Yep, week number 7.
Week number 7. And if you are enjoying Celle's journey to gut health and are inspired to learn more for yourself, we have a gut health reset program coming up, a 4-week online program where we will put together everything we know about gut health. So you don't have to DM Celle and ask exactly what she did. You can sign up and get it all presented to you in a structured form, in a way where you can apply it on yourself. We will also have a free masterclass coming up on August 15, where we share more about how we work and more the high level knowledge. So this is definitely for you who have been struggling with gut health for a long time, maybe bloating, SIBO, pains, all kinds of cramps or anything in this that's going on in the stomach, and want to learn more about how it's all tied together. So we will share exactly how we work and our philosophies and how we go about it. And so tune in if you want to know more. And also this Friday, me, Mark, and Simba will share about how we have worked with our gut. So that's like more on a personal basis. So there's a lot of gut health coming up the following weeks. So stay tuned and send us a DM if you are missing any links or you want to know more. And I'll see you next week again, Celle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lots
Bye-bye.
of love. Bye.